What's up, guys? It's Chris Moulton, Andrew Martin. It's the Union Report. We have with us today Diego Gutierrez. How are you doing today?
Awesome. Good to be here. Excited to be here and talk to you guys for a little bit.
Nice. Beautiful weather out here at Cardinale Stadium this afternoon. How was training today for you?
Training was good. We just did a little warm up, a little passing sequence, and then went straight into 11v11, which is always good, just to get the legs moving and get us ready for the game on Friday.
Oh, nice. Is that the one where they there's a winning team and you guys take a picture and then they post it? Is that the drill?
No, that's not the drill. That one is usually small-sided, so we'll do a tournament, kind of like a tournament where we do 5 or 3 teams 5v5, and
okay.
Whoever ends up with the most wins at the end, then that team gets to take the picture, and we'll take a little picture and they'll post us and say winning team,
Okay.
Yeah.
All right,
just
cool.
to make it a little competition, make it fun.
Yeah, hey, I think
bragging rights.
Exactly. So I want to start off, personally, when I see you play, I've always been appreciative of your ability with the ball at the feet and your willingness to take on defenders one-on-one. Has that always been your style, or is that something that's developed kind of over the years?
Yeah, ever since I could remember when I first started playing soccer, I've always enjoyed taking players on and kind of just being that kind of X factor player. It's always been a part of me and what I've wanted to become as I've gotten older. Also, a bunch of my idols growing up have always had that little flair to them, so I've kind of just taken a little bit of that from my favorite players and kind of just implemented that in myself.
Okay, nice. Andrew, you got a question?
Yeah, so I'm going to apologize in advance for this question. We usually don't ask too many hard-hitting questions. Mm-hmm. This one's going to be a little bit harder hitting. Yeah. But you played for Ralston High School,
yes,
in Nebraska. You're the all-time Nebraska leading high school scorer with 112 goals.
Yep.
You threw in 43 assists for good measure.
Yep.
My research further shows that you scored at least 1 goal in 68 of your 71 matches. And I want to know what happened in those other 3 games.
I honestly don't know. I was probably shut down. There was a couple good teams, so I must have been triple teamed, quadruple teamed. There were a bunch of games where I was triple teamed, double teamed.
I'm sure. Yeah.
So yeah, if you go back to those huddle highlights, you always see 4 defenders around me. But yeah, no, playing high school was super fun, and it's funny. It could have been a lot more, but there were some games where we would be up 4-0 in the first half, and coach would take me out. I would have 4 goals, and he would take me out. So I didn't get to play.
Yeah.
I never get to break the game record. I think the game record was 6 goals.
Oh, wow.
And he would always take me out 4 goals, and that was yeah.
Well, putting up video game numbers like that, I'm sure that the college recruiting process was probably pretty brisk for you. Did you hear from a lot of schools?
Yeah. Just kind of playing in a pretty good club team, and just traveling also, and then also the numbers I put up in high school really helped a lot with the recruiting. A bunch of D1, a bunch of D2, D3, a little bit of everything, JUCO, NAIA, but yeah, it definitely helped out a lot.
Okay. And I know in 2021 you were drafted by MLS, but you ended up deciding to go back to school at Creighton. Mm-hmm. What led to that decision, and is that one that you, looking back on, that you think you made the right one?
I'll be honest, it wasn't really my choice. Mm-hmm. Portland drafted me and I think 1 or 2 others at the time during that COVID year, and it was kind of a weird process because like I said, it wasn't really my decision. If it was my decision, I would have went to Portland right away. Mm-hmm. But I think because of COVID going around, they decided to hold off on bringing new people in, just kind of around the squad. Whatever the case may be, if it was they were scared that their current players would get sick, no one really knew what was going on with COVID at the time. So they kind of just advised me and the other couple players that they drafted to just stay in school that one more year or that half year. It was kind of a half year,
Right.
and they just advised us to stay in, and they'll bring us in next year.
Got it.
Which was, but yeah, if it was my decision, I would have went right away.
Sure.
But it worked. In the end, it worked out. I feel like I came in prepared with another year under my belt, and then also kind of just basically just getting prepared with it. And then also I graduated out of it, so
That's a nice benefit.
It was nice. I didn't have to do school anymore once I got to Portland.
What was that degree that you got?
I graduated with a business administration at Creighton University, and then I also have a healthy lifestyle management degree. So a little bit of everything.
Okay. Nice. So I want to jump back really quick. You had mentioned in regards to the flair that you play with and the players that you looked up to. Is there one or two players in particular that you were like, that is what I want to look like when I play?
Yeah, for sure. There's actually a couple. I have two older brothers, so I grew up watching those. Like I grew up watching soccer at a young age, so just a couple of the older guys, like obviously Cristiano Ronaldo. That's probably that's easily my favorite player of all time. So yeah, when he was younger, he had that flair at Manchester United and his first early years at Real Madrid. But yeah, that's my favorite player. But before that, Ronaldinho, just growing up watching him, like he always had a smile on his face and he always made people happy. And then another big one was at the time Robinho, another Brazilian. I always wanted to, when I was growing up, I always wanted to play like him. So, nice. But yeah, Neymar obviously also. Just a bunch of those guys with flair, you know.
Definitely, yeah. When I think of Ronaldinho, I'm like if you Google flair, like that's the guy that comes up.
Sure.
Like he just crazy stuff.
He pulls some stuff out of his hat for sure.
Definitely. Andrew, you got a question?
Sure. So you came to Monterey Bay mid-season last year from Charleston. Just curious if you could talk a little bit about how you found out that you're being transferred over and what the process looked like for you, literally moving from one coast to the next in the middle of a season.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of used to that movement, just because I went from Portland to Charleston and then back to Monterey. So it's been I've been coast to coast a couple of times, but yeah. My time at Charleston was okay. I love the guys there. I love the staff. They were all great to me. Things just didn't work out how I planned at the time, so was kind of just looking for something different. And when I came to Monterey, the staff brought me in with open arms, and the guys were also super helpful with the process of me moving over here. They all made it pretty easy. So yeah, it was all pretty easy, and everything felt pretty welcoming here.
Okay, great, thank you.
Nice. And so kind of to piggyback on that question, so you've had the opportunity here at Monterey Bay to play with guys like Alex Dixon, who have like long careers, like, you know, among the top minutes in the league, top goals in the league. Have you, or has he been able to impart any wisdom, or has there been anything that you've taken away from your time in the attacking forwards group here at Monterey Bay that's added to your game? Yeah,
for sure. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm only 26 and I've been a pro for 4 years, and I feel like I'm kind of at that age where like I know enough, but I also like am willing to learn a little bit more, you know. So guys like you mentioned, like Dixon, but not only Dixon, but a bunch of the other older guys here at Monterey, and even previous clubs that I played for before. It's always good to ask questions and kind of just learn, and not only soccer questions, you know. Some of the players are fathers, some are husbands, and it's just good to ask questions and learn about life, you know, life experiences. Kind of just sometimes you need sometimes you need to talk about stuff away from soccer, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, a bunch of those guys are super helpful and super open if you come up to them and ask them questions.
Nice. Andrew?
Yeah, and talking about players that you've played with, again, you've had a couple of seasons where you were in Major League Soccer. You've had a couple, 2-3 seasons where you've been in USL Championship. Just very generally speaking, what are one or two differences, if any, that really stand out to you between the average MLS player and the average USL Championship player?
Yeah, I don't think, like, ability-wise, there isn't much of a difference. I think the biggest difference would be probably consistency. If you're in the MLS, you can see the difference of how each player trains each and every day, and it's kind of just being consistent and being present every single day. I feel like in this league, it's obviously still growing, but I feel like there could be times where some players or some teams take time, like days off or like practices, like it's a little bit more chill, you know, and when you're in MLS, like it's just constant work every single day, and they expect you to be at your best every single day. So, I mean, like I said, this league is growing, and I've seen both sides of it, but this league is definitely trending upward.
For sure.
Nice. All right. Do you have any other questions, Andrew, before we?
No, that was it
Okay.
for me.
Well, we got the rapid fire segment. It's the Country and Ag edition because we got Country and Ag night coming up on Friday, and so we're excited.
Get your tickets if you don't have them already.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
your tickets.
So we're just gonna ask you 5 questions and just give the best answer you can. On your marks.
I'll try. Let's do it. I'm
Okay.
from Nebraska, so
I mean,
we'll see.
all right. If you had a horse, what would its name be?
Ooh, that's a good one. Probably like, I don't know. See, this is supposed to be rapid fire, but probably like blue or something.
Okay.
Just like a color, you know, like blue,
Something
some
simple.
so yeah, exactly.
Okay. Andrew?
If soccer didn't work out and you were a farmer, what type of crop would you be farming?
I'm from Nebraska, so it's got to be corn.
Okay.
Nice. Have you ever been to a rodeo? And if so, what's your favorite event?
I have not been to a rodeo. I've been invited to mini rodeos back in Nebraska. My ex-girlfriend actually loved rodeos, but I never decided to go with her, unfortunately. But my favorite event would probably, I've always wanted to go to the bull riding ones.
Okay.
You know, and those always seem fun just because like those guys hop on the bull and
Yeah.
Probably more fun for the people watching.
yeah, I was gonna say it's a little rough for those guys for sure. They get beat downs.
Andrew?
So obviously a lot of things are grown here in Salinas Valley, the salad bowl of the country. Do you have a favorite fruit or veggie that's grown around here?
I've noticed the strawberries here are really good.
Okay, that's
So,
a fair answer.
But honestly, like compared to like Nebraska, the fruit here is pretty good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's top quality for sure.
Nice. Okay, last rapid fire question. Do you think you could ever ride a bull and hang on for that 8 seconds?
No.
No?
Not those bulls for sure.
Yeah.
If you give me a little baby bull, maybe I can hop on for like 2-3 seconds, but no.
There you
Those
go.
are a little too crazy for me.
Okay, perfect. And so we have a special Country and Ag edition. This is for the peeps back in Nebraska. They're going to see this, so we're going to play clips of a couple of songs, and you need to fill in the missing words. So Andrew has it there. Let us know if you can't hear it or anything, but go ahead. What do they call the thing?
Spurs.
Ah, Rodeo was the correct answer. I know, Nebraska, man. Like, just no. Let's do one more.
Sorry, Nebraska. I'm letting you guys down right now.
One more. We'll see if you
I'm
can
letting
get
all
it.
my country folks down over there. All my
Alright.
country friends. Long before you take this. Long before you take this. Long before you take this road.
No, Cowboy's hat. That was actually like expert level. That's some old Chris.
Yeah,
Wood.
I don't know. I'm more like I've heard like Morgan Wallen and
Oh, the newer
yeah,
stuff?
the newer
Yeah.
stuff. I know this is a little bit too old for me.
But the pro tip is when it's country music trivia, if you guess dog, truck, hat,
Yeah.
or bull, that's probably like 40% of the possible answers. So
Oh, man. Well, Diego, that's all the time we have for today. We really appreciate you taking the
appreciate
time
you
to
guys.
join us. And I hope you guys at home enjoyed that and getting to know a little bit more about Diego Gutierrez. And we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you guys.
thanks.